What's going on, everyone? It's the Crypto Wonder from the Crypto Wonder podcast. And so we are going to talk about a few things crypto related. But before we start, I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. I enjoy creating the podcast and the content, but I'm grateful for the fact that you're listening to the podcast and allowing me to speak my speech. You could be doing a bunch of different things, but you decided to listen to this, so I'm grateful. There's a song that was recently released by a person named DJ Khaled. I think he's releasing an album, right? And so he has a song among a few that he released recently within the past week. And the name of this one song that I'm going to review with you all and explain to you why I'm reviewing this song, because I don't normally do this, but there's a reason why I'm doing it. It's called Sorry, Not Sorry, and it's a song that's featuring Nas and Jay-Z. Now, what pushed me, and I guess I'm telling you what triggered me to speak about the song, was when Nas, who was the first rapper to deliver his verse, right, on the song. He was the first to go. In his rap, he mentioned how he was somewhat of a captain of cryptocurrency due to his dealings with Coinbase. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not quoting him verbatim, please. I'm not quoting him verbatim. If you care to listen, it's called Sorry, Not Sorry. If you don't, essentially he mentioned Coinbase and cryptocurrency and how he was sort of like a front runner in crypto. In many respects, I can understand why he's saying he's a front runner, but that he's leagues beyond everyone else, right? Because the song is called Sorry, Not Sorry. So he's implying that he is sorry, but not sorry for being rich, well off. Okay? You could take it, and you could take it a few ways. This is what triggered me when he mentioned Coinbase and how he was somewhat of like a captain or a general of some sort of cryptocurrency. Coinbase now in his repertoire of investments and blah blah blah. I mean, that's cool because it's promoting crypto, and Coinbase, it's not the best company, but it's one of the easier, or let me not say easier, it's one of the more widely known, popular companies that people can use to onboard crypto, right? Coinbase. But now, just if you do your research and you educate yourself, you're going to find there's much more to crypto than Coinbase. There is so much more to crypto than Coinbase. But for people who don't know, I guess he announced it, so maybe people who care, it might pique their interest, and they might look into the market and understand what is Coinbase. Since they launched their IPO, they're now on the stock market, so it's like it's garnering attention. Okay, good. And Jay-Z with his, he's rich forever, and he's, like just that kind of rhetoric. That's good. But he's also not sorry for being rich. All right. My thing is this. Nas saying this thing about Coinbase and crypto. Okay. But don't make it seem like everyone else doesn't have access to Bitcoin, or everyone else can't access Coinbase, right? Crypto through Coinbase, as if, like no one else can do what he's doing. If you're trying to make a statement about how well off you are and forget everybody else, or you've helped so many people and people are somewhat like they're just not gracious enough, or ungrateful, and yeah, that's reality. There's a lot of people who live to betray others. We get it. But that Sorry Not Sorry song reminds me of this hashtag that's in crypto that people talk about: have fun staying poor. That's a hashtag that people in crypto Twitter run all the time. They've been running it for the past few months. Have fun staying poor. In other words, people who have nothing have fun having nothing. People who are rich, we're gonna continue to splurge and live in complete abundance, and look at everyone else who has nothing as if they're peasants and peons and worth nothing. That's the implication that I think they're conveying, and I think they're doing themselves a disservice, because a lot of people around, think about it, the ravaged, impoverished nations around the world, do you think they want to remain in a state of morose and destitution throughout their entire lives in perpetuity? Do you think this is what they're looking for? Do you think they want to be broke? Do you think they want their future descendants to continue to live in a life of despair? It's like Nas catch up. Because those of us who's been in crypto, the 150 million of us that they say that have been in crypto, we have front run him. Acknowledge those who stood before you, bro. But no, the ego's too big. I'm not a Nas hater. In fact, he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. I think he's one of the best lyricists in the world. I've bought both artists, both their music, Nas and Jay. So it's not that I'm a hater. I'm just calling it down the middle. And, I'm not going to hold you. When I heard that, I was really like, when I heard him say that, I was like, okay, wow. But it was, I was struck with a bit of ambivalence, because I was 50-50. Because I'm like, well, yeah, cool. Okay, you said Coinbase. Okay, cryptocurrency. Yeah, but you like a captain? Like no one could be that either? Like no one else can have access to Bitcoin, which is open source and transparent and available to everyone who decides to participate in the blockchain, in the market? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? See, this is the thing. This is, there's another entertainer who recently openly declared that he's involved with crypto, but specifically NFTs, and that's Jim Jones. See, Jim Jones, what the difference between what he said and what Jim Jones in an interview at the Breakfast Club, he educated Charlemagne the God, telling Charlemagne, speaking briefly about NFTs and how they work and what their opportunities they're bringing as far as making money. Jim Jones is a hustler in the entertainment hip hop world. He's a hustler. He's all about making money and investing. And he used that as an opportunity, that platform and that show as an opportunity to speak, to even pique the interest of his the radio hosts, and understand, listen, this is something that's new. It's a new technology, it's groundbreaking, and this can afford regular people an opportunity to make money. That I respect. That stands more than talking about sorry, not sorry, Coinbase and crypto, and the other guy with his Japanese wine that got all these clowns out here running rampant, quoting Japanese wine and acting as if that was something so remarkable to hear. I mean, people just, I don't know. Look, folks. A lot of these people, don't believe what you hear. Believe what you do as far as what you obtain, information you gather and collect by way of your own research with this cryptocurrency thing. Seriously, don't even listen to what I'm saying all the time. Just do your own research. It's great that you have celebrity star power that's rallying behind the market and asking questions and even making posts on Twitter and whatever through social media platforms and blah blah blah, and is garnering attention. Look at Doge, crazy, insane. Okay, that's fine. But there are layers, foundation. There's a foundation that people need to learn about, a basic foundation that people need to learn about, not just what's on the surface. Go deeper, dig deeper, so that you can be well educated on what this space is about and what it can bring. It's bigger than Coinbase, right? And even NFTs, it's bigger. It's just, that's all I'm going to say about that for now. Shout out to Stunner Breezy. Shout out to that guy. He did a video today that I saw. I think it was today. Okay. He did a video that I saw today, I should say. Regarding, his crypto. He did a crypto video. And he was showing different platforms that he likes to use. And then he got to a point where, and first of all, Stunner Breezy, a very funny guy. Like when you subscribe to his channel, when you watch his show, his video, the way he talks, there's no other person like him. He is a funny, comedic character. Like you can't go through 10 minutes. You can't go through any, his videos are generally short. You can't go through none of his videos without laughing, at least once or twice, at least. Right? Shout out to him. He did a video today, and in that video, in the middle of the video, he started talking about Hourglass, a project that was launched by Trayvon James. And he started to laugh because he pulled up the chart for Hour.glass. He pulled up the chart, and he saw this red candle, and he immediately started to laugh and say that, Trey needs to do better, and that he can't help himself because he sells on the people in the community without them even looking. Like he'll tell the community, he's saying this. I'm not making this up, right? He said that, Trey will look, if you look at he tried to go back a few, days in the chart, and would show how at the top of the chart, where there's a green candle, Trey is offering his community information about how things are going to work out by way of staking and get his community all pumped and excited. So once it reaches to the top with the green candle, the next thing you know, when they're not looking, boom, it drops because he sold, and that Trey can't help himself. Stunner was saying Trey can't help himself, that he wants his money back and he needs to do better on his community because he's oftentimes jumping in and out of projects. He's talking about different things and he's not getting involved with them. He talked about war recently. He even talked about his native project, Tokenaire, and then once he did what he did, pumped and dumped, it was over. No more talking about it. I did a video regarding Trey and Craig Grant, the OG Craig Grant, 2 years ago, about the similar practices and patterns that especially Trey now has been displaying over the years, because I've been following Trey for a very long time. This man has been in crypto for 5-6 years. And I basically did a video just to let him know, if you have this gift of marketing, of really grabbing the attention of the people, but people are not really able to amass the same level of success that you have, then to me it's a red flag, because people have the choice to do whatever. But Trey and Craig were in the habit of, Craig not so much anymore because he doesn't do a lot of videos on crypto, but Trey is in the habit of, and Craig in the beginning when I used to watch them, would just show their wallets and different projects that they're in. Trey does that too. He's very transparent that way, but I don't understand that. That's a thing for another topic, a topic for another discussion. I'll never understand that. But if someone could exactly mimic what Trey's done, then they should be able to reach the same success. That's my thing. If someone copies you, like to the T of what you do, then you should be able to, then anybody should be able to mimic the same success. And he's done very well in crypto, which I salute. But the problem is the inconsistency. The problem is the inconsistency in the patterns. And at the time when I did the video, Stunner Breezy went by another name. He did a video criticizing my video and actually going at me, telling me that I'm a Gandhiji guy, that, I don't know what I'm talking about because everything Trey touched turned to gold. This is what he said. But it's funny how a year and a half later, he's basically repeating what I talked about. So I guess I wasn't wrong. Shout out to Stunner Breezy, shout out to Trayvon and all them. My thing is this, man. We in crypto, we try to make something happen out of just like basically intangible assets. We trying to improve the quality of our lives, man, trying to make some money. That's what we trying to do, with this invention that took place, that was created for all of us to be able to come up out of nothing, right? But the thing about it is, it's what I talk about all the time is just being responsible. Because Stunner also mentioned something about how crypto is just a solo sport. This is why crypto is a solo sport. You can't just be like, believing that, people, or whatever. I'm just assuming, just making assumptions as far as what he was trying to say. But he says it's a solo sport. I get what he means by that, and how I interpret that is when you say solo sport, I mean, it's up to you, the decisions you make and how you interact with crypto, how you do crypto is up to you. No one forces you to send crypto anywhere. It's up to you. It's your decision, ultimately, sure. But without the community, no blockchain can work, no project can function. Without the community to utilize and transact on any blockchain and use, buy, send, trade, whatever crypto, sell crypto, it's nothing. It'll be dead. Bitcoin can't function without the community utilizing the blockchain and the cryptocurrency and hodling it. It would not have a price value without the people using it and rallying behind and believing in it and holding it and investing it and lending it and trading it and buying it and selling it and hodling it. That's with anything. You need the community. So with that, I'm kind of 50-50 when he said that. But overall, though, I got no beef with Stunner Breezy. None whatsoever. I didn't have a beef with him even 2 years ago, even though I responded to his video. But shout out to that. But Trayvon and Our.Glass, people see I've been trying to say something, and more and more people are going to realize what's taking place, and they're going to notice these observations that are being made, bro. Trayvon, they're going to notice these observations that are being made. Now, as far as your inconsistency, when projects go up, I remember when Toucanet launched, and that split second where you saw that steep drop, that people were watching. There are folks who are completely involved with crypto analytics. They will follow everything to the T, very meticulous in detail. They were able to say, well, 200K just exited the contract, and how many? Just the other day when Hourglass launched, they mentioned in the first 12 hours, 600K exited the contract. Folks watch this kind of stuff. They have a keen eye. People are attuned. So if folks are identifying patterns, man, it's like, yo, you got to realize this. What is it that you want? I mean, I hope the community thrives and that they win. This is what it's about. I'm not a hater. All I want is for people to be able to have great experiences in crypto. It doesn't matter if you don't like projects that I like. It doesn't matter if I don't like projects that you like. But at least have an overall good experience, especially if you've been in this for years. If you've been in this for years, I mean, come on, we should know better. Another community, a video that I saw regarding another community altogether. Black Sheep, shout out to him too. Black Sheep, he's a funny guy. Dude is crazy funny, creative music. Like this guy is complete entertainment, like very entertaining guy. And I see he's very giving too. He's not selfish with as far as crypto. What I mean by that is he's always doing giveaways with his own money, as he says, own money. And this thing could be verified in blockchain. This is not, this is what he does. But the problem is, like today he was ranting about a project that he's in, how it's not doing something that it was supposed to have been doing. Basically, the developer, there's an error in the contract. 2 weeks ago, everything was all fine though. But the error is, airdrops couldn't be done with this project, this crypto project. It's like this faucet project, something like that, where they, issuing like a certain percentage every day or whatever. That 1% a day thing, that was a problem that BitConnect introduced back in 2017. This certain percentage a day, 2% a day, 5% a day. It got people all the way messed up. Ever since that whole time period with BitConnect. Blame BitConnect for that, because people will forever chase those percentages per day like a dragon. Blame that on BC's, on BitConnect. That's it. The scam that folded, and you know what? Forget them. But Black Sheep was complaining to the developer, ranting and raving to the developer about how could he put out a project without even testing the project. And this is the thing that I question. Those of us who've been in crypto for at least 4 years, we should at least know certain things. If you about to support a project launch, especially something smart contract related, a project launch especially dealing with smart contracts, hourglass models, and all of that, shouldn't you at least want to know if the code of the project was audited, not just verified but audited? There was just a series of tests, or at least one test being done. None of that was done. But we should know that by now, because how many janky projects have come and gone that we've been through, that we thought, okay, we're hoping that the developer just did the right thing. We're just hoping and praying because we like the developer, because we think they're cool and they got a good personality or whatever, but they just delivered faulty projects over and over and over and over again. I mean, that's just basic. How many times, folks, like I got into bankroll when the first daily came out, and the bank teller received a hell of a lot of criticism. And you know what? Even when I got into bankroll back in I want to say 2019, the middle of 2019, when the first daily came out, Trevon James was talking about that. And I discovered that the project wasn't even audited. And I risked it. I took a chance and just threw my monies in it, threw my cryptos in it. Yeah, I did it. Took a chance. And it was very unwise, because I knew better even back then. Because prior to that whole hourglass kind of stuff where you got to get in and with the whole P3D craze, where the whole development team just scammed out on everybody, just exited the whole project and left everybody holding the bag, just poor in such poor taste. P3D was dynamic. Okay? Revolutionary and groundbreaking. I never saw anything like P3D before. And the way that they just exited and just left the community like that was disgusting. And the whole subsequent clones that came out behind that, the clone wars, it was just madness. Madness. The only hourglass has been able to stand through the test of time, even after P3D, is Gandhiji.io, EthereumGold.io. And the likes of these collectives and these communities don't like Gandhiji.io. Why? Because they may not like the developer. Why? Because they may think the Gandhiji.io is only for Indians. Why? Because they have some kind of hang-up or shortcoming that keeps them short-sighted and not understand the true value of what this thing has brought. Not could bring, but has already brought within 3 years. Right? But going back to the whole black sheep. So he was beefing with not beefing, well, actually giving shit to the developer because the developer didn't, fix the contract to the point where he's able to give airdrops to his community. And for the second day, he tried again to give airdrops, and he has to manually click confirm for like 100 different addresses. And it's time consuming. You can see the frustration. You're like, come on, man. And this is a man who's been trying to rally behind solid projects to give back to his community because he's been through it. He's also somebody who's been through the ups and downs and been through all the exit scams. All the projects that have exit scam. And this is what I'm saying, like shout out to him. I don't have any beef with Crypto Black Sheep. What I'm saying is how if we know better, like we know certain things, like why do we stick with people who consistently show us inconsistency? You know what I mean? Why do we stick with people who show us that they just don't have what it takes to be regular? Their patterns, see, is one thing if we're told something. But when the person's patterns and their actions say something else, pay attention to that, because that's what speaks louder than anything that they could tell you. Because going back to Bankroll, Bankteller got a whole bunch of crap. And I've heard Bankteller speak. I've heard him in different chats. I've heard him in Zooms. I've heard him in this and that. And I'm like, dude, all I could say is when I was able to get my ROI from Daily, I never touched the project again. It's not because of anything. It was just not because I stepped out of my norm as far as jumping into something that's not audited. Like really not audited. Like it was just a super gamble. And once, by that time I was already dealing with Gandhiji, right? And I saw how, I was trying to call myself diversifying. Got into a bunch of other trash too that's not even worth talking about because they left too, scammed. I've lost so much, but I've also been able to retain and gain because of the IND smart contract, which is why I'll always talk about it. And it's not about me just riding someone's coattail, because whether I like Sonny or not, the contract is separate from Sonny. He created a contract. So yes, I'm going to like him because that contract has brought nothing but gains. So absolutely, he wins for that. But if that man were to turn around and say, he's done, and he walks away from Gandhiji.io, the contract would still perform and do the same thing autonomously without his assistance or any human involvement. And by the way, he's not ever going to, he says he's never going to leave Gandhiji.io because that's his thing. But should anything happen, what I'm saying is this contract, it has no human involvement, nobody, that's it. And why am I going to shit on the man if I amass earnings and gains? Why would I even do that? But if I do talk about it, people like to, shame and throw name calling and insults and say, oh, you Gandhiji guy and this and that. That's what Stunner Breezy called me, because he did a research and saw my videos and saw, that I'm a Gandhiji guy. So yeah, what's Sonny like? All of a sudden, it's like I'm brainwashed by something. I ain't got nothing to do with brainwash. I'm brainwashed by receiving dividends. I'm brainwashed by receiving consistent dividends. And yeah, you want to call me brainwashed? I'll be brainwashed for that. You want to call me? He said I was holier than thou too. I'll be holier than thou because I enjoy these dividends I've been receiving consistently with no hiccups, and so has the entire community. And you know what? I don't beg anybody. The same way people don't like to admit when they're wrong, I don't necessarily beg like, I'm not talking as far as like begging people to come over here either. Because things are moving and have been moving without all these communities that I'm talking about. They've been moving regardless. They've been moving without Nas and Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Because you have people who believe it, people who see it. There's people who've come into the contract, who've made a killing in the contract, and who leave the contract and talk bad about the contract, including the likes of Trayvon. So make that make sense. You know, when you say you want to make a legacy, you want to make a legacy for yourself, but your patterns are inconsistent. What type of legacy are you really trying to make and create? When people could see that you sell, allegedly, because I don't do crypto forensics, but you know, people just assume things, and because of what you present, people are able to make proper assessments based on your actions and the history of your actions. I wish the Hourglass community success. I wish Black Sheep and his community success. I wish Stunner Breezy or whatever he does success. All these guys, I wish them all success, man. All these guys. Because when you got clowns talk like outside of this space trying to come in and talk about data cap, you know, Nas is my man, like as far as not somebody I know closely, but someone who I respect in the hip hop world. But that stuff that he talk about, like he made himself look like a clown compared to what we know and how we get down, because we do crypto for real. He's talking about Coinbase, being the captain of cryptocurrency because he's involved with Coinbase. Clown. That's clown talk. Sorry, but not sorry. I'm out.